Hi and welcome, chart artists. Today I will be discussing some important levels to watch on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Can we see bullish momentum continue to the upside, or are we still going to have a deeper correction before we get a bounce to go and claim the all-time high once again? And also for my community, go down into the description of this video. You will see I have spoken to Bybit, and for my community, you get a 20% reduction in fees when you trade on Bybit. Sign up right now to benefit from this deal today. Also, if you can't use Bybit in your region or country, I have Mexi where you do not need to KYC, where I do most of my scalping, trading the market up and down. Right, let's go and analyze the price of Bitcoin. Okay. First thing I want to look at is the larger time frame, and you can see, looking at this structure here on the 8 hour for Bitcoin, you will see that if I take a fib from this pivot over here where we've made this low and we made all of these impulsive waves here to the upside to the high, if we do have a deeper correction, the question is, which structure are we correcting? And the reason I say that is, if you look at this impulse, you had a correction. Impulse, you had a correction. Impulse, correction. Impulse, correction. Small little correction there, and this is also an impulse. So is this correction correcting this impulse, or are we going to have a deeper correction to correct this entire impulse over here? Or can this correction be for this entire impulsive structure over here, where we can see a much deeper correction to the downside, even hitting the 618 and the 786 at $46,000. For bullish momentum to continue to the upside and keep the macro structure intact from a bullish perspective, you really want to see the 786 as the lowest point hold, right? Which is also has confluence with these highs over here. Okay, but a nice consolidation area here right by the 0.618, where we could, if we do find continuation to the downside and perhaps we come down, we make a lower high, and 618, beautiful confluence with this consolidation area over here for that possible bounce to come and claim the all-time highs once again. Right, that is basically the higher time frame. What I want to take you guys through now is to say that, well, on the 8 hour, we can go and make a deeper correction where I see high probable bouncing areas by the 618 and the 786. We have a small little consolidation area here by the 50% fib level, and inside of this consolidation area there's also a naked point of control where we could get a bounce perhaps for a lower high and continuation to the downside, where we bounce at one of these two levels for continuation to the upside, still leaving the market structure intact from a bullish perspective, where you have higher lows and higher highs forming, continuing the bull market here to the upside. Right, let's look at this little structure over here. Okay, let's just take the scribble out the way, zoom here onto the 1 hour. Okay, looking at this structure, okay, this structure over here where we had a low on the 5th of March to where we are right now. When I take a fib, okay, just keeping the analysis very simple, from the low to the high, we drag it across. Okay, we had a beautiful bounce here at the 0.88, and also yesterday we had a bounce at the 786, rejected by the 618, and now we are at the 0.88. Okay, generally speaking, what this means is that not always, but in most instances, when you have a fib from the low to the high and you bounce by the 0.88, it increases probabilities that any structure towards the upside is corrective and not impulsive. We'll just have to observe price reaction when we get to some of the key levels and important levels that I want to point out. Is to say that, generally speaking, when you hit the 0.88, okay, I often see what happens in the market. You come back up, you test the 0.618, and then you find further continuation to the downside, even claiming this low. If this scenario had to play out, that would also be in confluence with a trend that we have over here. You reject by the 618 together with diagonal trend to the downside, failing to break through and finding that continuation to the downside where we come and claim this low. Okay, just taking the brushes out here. One thing that I wanted to point out here as well is to say that, well, if I then zoom out here a little bit and switch on my trend lines, you can see that we have a trend over here. Okay, just go out onto the 4 hour so we can just see where's this trend coming from. It's basically connecting this low to this low, and we have a trend running there. Is to say that, well, potentially, if we do lose this low over here that I've just explained, okay, grab my pen, where we come up, we reject against this trend line, okay, by the 618, we could find ourselves claiming the low and grabbing all the liquidity below this low over here for a bounce on the trend for continuation to the upside to potentially come and claim this high. Okay, another thing we have to keep in mind is to say that, well, if this scenario does play out, okay, let me just clean this up again and switch on some daily analysis over here. We still have this all-time high 2021, which we failed to break through, and we currently below this level, which is in itself a macro bearish sign at the moment. We have failed to break through the all-time highs, and we are now currently below that price action. So if we had to come down here, claiming all the liquidity below these lows, bounce on the trend, we could find ourselves making a lower high for continuation to the downside, finally breaking this momentum to the upside. For the price to remain bullish, what you would like to see is for us, let's say we come and we do claim this low, we come and we bounce on this trend line. There's also a naked point of control inside of this mini consolidation area over here in confluence with this trend where we potentially bounce. What you would like to see is for us to reclaim the all-time high with high green volume kicking in here. High green volume kicking in, breaking through, retesting it as support, or RS flip, where you'd flip resistance into support for continuation to the upside. Okay, let's zoom into the 15-minute and see what's happening under the hood. Right, looking at Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame, here's the high, here's the 0.88 that we've just tapped. So the following is a couple of trading scenarios that I'm watching, is to say that I've got this small little trend that I'm tracking the momentum down here, and you want to see a successful breakout. Okay, we do have a previous point of control inside of this range and potentially a SFP for a higher low, okay, signaling that the structure could be changing, where you want to see us break through this trend and the 618 with high volume. You have to take in consideration that that scenario where we tap the 0.618, failing to break through this trend could send us down to lower levels, tapping this below trend that I've just shown you. So what you would like to see is us break the 618 level together with this diagonal with high volume, retest it as support for continuation to the upside. I do still see a possible rejection here by the all-time high, where even when we break this trend, I will be taking profits aggressively here to the upside, because it's not to say that we break through here successfully that we're potentially coming to claim this all-time high again. This could be a breakout to test the scene of the crime, or to retest the scene of the crime where we failed to hold this level. Okay, you're coming back to retest it, and then we have a deeper correction back to the downside. So I will be, if the scenario had to play out, be taking aggressive profits here to the upside, expecting a rejection in this area. Right. What you would like to see for bullish momentum to continue to the upside, to come and claim this high, is that we need to smash through here with high volume, reclaim the 618 level, then again potentially a SFP from this all-time high, make a higher low compared to this low. So potentially that could even be a 618 retracement where you come back up, you make a higher low, changing the market structure where you then blast through, claiming this level with high volume to come and grab the liquidity above these highs. There is an insane amount of liquidity above these highs, which could mean that even this move up here could still be corrective, where you come and you grab the liquidity above here, and then we start making a deeper correction to the downside, correcting that 8-hour structure that I've just shown you during the beginning. Right, let's jump onto the price of Ethereum. Keeping it simple here on the price of Ethereum, I'm here on the daily time frame, and as you can see, I've been tracking this channel here to the upside, where we've now successfully broken out. Okay, Ethereum tapped this channel twice to the upside and a couple of times here to the downside, finally breaking through with high volume, smashing through the 0.618, and now we got rejected here by the 786. For bullish momentum to continue to the upside, what you would like to see is potentially we are now below. We have to acknowledge that we are now below the 0.618, so you need to reclaim this level, and ideally you want to see us hold this channel as support if we do find more momentum to the downside, holding this high over here. Okay, you want to see this support hold over here, where Ethereum potentially comes back down, it retests the channel for continuation to the upside, reclaiming the 786 and the 618 for bullish momentum to continue to the upside, where Ethereum could potentially still come and claim the all-time highs. Okay, from a bearish perspective, let me just take the scribble out. From a bearish perspective here on Ethereum, we could potentially still bounce here, make a lower high, come back, break this trend. You will also see that from a bullish perspective, you want to hold this trend over here, so that even if we bounce here on the channel and we manage to hold this trend to the upside, we can still expect the all-time high to be claimed. But from a bearish perspective, we still come back up, we perhaps make a lower high, we break the trend, we back inside the channel where we could find ourselves at the 50% fib channel or down right at the bottom again, retesting this trend that I've got down here for much lower levels on Ethereum. Right, so basically you want to see us hold this momentum here to the upside and stay outside of this channel for bullish momentum to continue on Ethereum. Right, let's quickly jump through a little bit of market sentiment. First up, Max writes, a lot of people are not ready for what is about to come. Alt season are still on the cards for where we are with the price of Bitcoin right now. Okay, saying that we are here and we are still going to see a massive explosion from some of our favorite altcoins where we just had a small little correction and we can expect an explosion to the upside. So still a lot of bullish momentum in the market. Right, next up, Bitcoin is testing the 4-hour 200 EMA for the first time since $42,000, and here you can see when we were at $42,000 we tested this EMA and we've been away from it for long, and now we are retesting it for the first time again. Will we hold this level, or are we finally going to break through to find lower levels here at the $50,000 area? Right, next up, big breaking, majority of people in Argentina are now buying Bitcoin to escape the inflation, so definitely some buying power still on Bitcoin. BlackRock just put 100 million on ETH. This is the most bullish news possible for Ethereum, and the price is 3,170. Okay, so still some bullish momentum here on the price of Ethereum. Just in, GBTC sees outflows of 443 million today. Okay, and that is still putting a lot of selling pressure on Bitcoin at the moment, and perhaps one of the biggest reasons, together with some ETFs outflows, that's caused this little bit of a downwards momentum. Right, last up, here you can see breaking the spot Bitcoin ETF just saw its largest outflow day in history. Well, history is not that very long. Anyways, we've had some inflows over here, and here you can see while we've been having this little dip on Bitcoin, the ETFs has been selling. Okay, will the selling continue, or are people going to start buying up the dip for more bullish momentum to continue to the upside? Right, if you are new to trading and would like to know how to get started to become a successful day trader, please go check out my trading video for beginners right here. Until the next one, cheers for now.